We're going to show you first something called the Charlier shuffle. Okay, now this is one of the most powerful shuffles in all of card magic for the simple reason that it is so incredibly convincing that the cards are being thoroughly mixed, when in fact all of the movement of the cards that you'll see in just a second is equivalent to cutting the packet at some location. Absolutely amazing. Okay, now really to do a Charlier shuffle and have enough cards to work with, why don't we go ahead, we'll go ahead and add the 9, 10, Jack, and Queen of Hearts so that we have 12. It's just a little nicer to have more cards to work with when you're doing a Charlier shuffle. Now it works when applied to a packet of 8, but it's just perhaps more convincing the more cards you have, okay? So right now we have Ace through Queen of Hearts, so we have 12 cards. Okay, so watch what we're going to do here. So for the Charlier shuffle, what you do is you push over any number of cards. You don't change their relative order here, you just push them over. And then from the bottom here, you push over some number, maybe we'll push 4, and you deposit those on top. And then some of the top cards over here get pushed over and left on the bottom. Some of the bottom cards here get pushed over and set on top, and maybe this last one goes on bottom. So the mantra is top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. Okay, so let's do it again. So you go move a top portion over to the bottom, new bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. Maybe one more time. Move some up, move some over to your other hand, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom. Okay. Boy, anyone watching that would think the cards are beyond the knowledge of anyone, which in some ways is actually true. I actually don't know what the top card is, but I do know that the cards have essentially been cut. All of the movement that we've just shown you is equivalent to cutting the original packet at some location. Okay, so for example, what's the new top card? 7. Okay, so what I'm claiming is we essentially just cut 6 cards to the bottom. Okay, so let's go ahead and show you that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and fan these out so you can kind of see that, and we'll set them down here. And you can see the conclusion there, that all of that movement was equivalent to cutting these 6 cards to the bottom. These used to be over here on top, right? They were right here, and now they've been cut to the bottom. And so you can perform that Charlier shuffle as many times as you like. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of illustrate the effect of a Charlier shuffle, which is really just a packet cut, on a cyclic packet. Now this is perhaps the simplest of all cyclic packets that are possible. It just alternates in color, red, black, all the way through. Okay, so it has a repeating pattern, namely red, black, that occurs 6 times because there's 12 cards. Okay, so the important thing here is it alternates in color. Okay, now for it to alternate in color, starting with a red on top versus a black on top, in some sense doesn't really make a big difference. Both of those are still cyclic packets that alternate in color. They just happen to start at a different color. Okay, so let's go ahead and apply the Charlier shuffle to this. So top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, bottom to top. Maybe one more. And as you can tell, I'm not even keeping track of how many I'm moving. I really am not. Okay, so my claim is it's still cyclic. Now, it may now start with a black versus a red, but it still alternates in color. And it certainly does. Black, red, all the way through. Okay? Well, knowing that much, how would that help you? Well, so for example, knowing that it alternates in color after all that supposed mixing, we could go ahead and just deal it into two piles, left and right. And what's guaranteed to happen? Just think about it. Since they alternate in color, one will be of one color, namely black, and the other packet would be of the other color, red. And also, if you think about it further, if we happen to have peaked the color of the bottom card before we did this left-right shuffle, we would know which card we would finish with over here. So there apparently was a red card at the very bottom after the Charlier shuffle. So if you just kind of take a little peek, so let me just show you a few ways of doing that. You know, if you had the cards alternating again, and you were to just kind of straighten those up on the table like that, as if you're just straightening up the packet, you can see that that's a red card. Well, when you go to do left-right, you know these will be the red and these will be the black. Okay, so those are some little insider tricks and tips there. Okay, now I have another packet over here I thought I would show you that's kind of interesting. Of course, this one does not alternate in color, as you can clearly see. It's a bit of a mess, actually. Nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and perform the Charlier shuffle as many times as the spectator asks for. So let's go ahead and just, we'll move over any number there. And in fact, in some ways, the messier it is, the better. But you have to balance messiness with not messing up. Because if you make a mistake in terms of this top to bottom, bottom to top, top to bottom, then you're going to destroy the relative order of the cards. Okay, so I think I did all of those Charlier shuffles correctly. Okay, now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just deal into two piles, kind of like we just did. Okay, now we know it wasn't alternating at the beginning. You saw that. We had like two blacks or even three blacks next to each other and that kind of thing. But nonetheless, I think I can divine how we've separated these cards. Let me just get a feel first. Oh, that's interesting. We've divided the clubs and the hearts from the spades and the diamonds. Is that even possible? Let's take a look. I'm claiming that we separated the clubs and the hearts from the spades and the diamonds. Did we? It appears that we did. How in the world did we do that? And of course, you could have had a written prediction off to the side that you'd pull out at the end and say, boy, we somehow have separated the clubs and the hearts from the spades and the diamonds. Well, you can probably guess, how did I build that packet? Okay, so we're just showing you some quick, simple little applications. The purpose of this video really is the Charlier shuffle, but it's nice to see it in action. What would you use it for? Okay, well, these are right here. These are the clubs and the hearts, so you can just like randomly mix those. And here are the spades and the diamonds, okay? And so all I did was from there is I just alternated, like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Okay, so what that does then is it guarantees that in the, let's say, the even positions, you'll have the clubs and hearts, let's say, and then in the odd positions, you'll have the spades and the diamonds. And I think that's actually exactly true here because odd positions, position 1, 3, 5, 7, and so forth. So here's position 1, it's a diamond. Position 3, spade. 5, spade. 7, diamond. 8, diamond. I apologize for my counting there. Let's count again. Yeah, let's count again. Okay. So, first position, diamond. The next odd position is 3, spade. Then fifth position, spade. Seventh position, diamond. Ninth position, diamond. 11th position, spade. And then in all of the even positions, you'll find clubs and hearts. Okay, so I got off on my counting to illustrate that this is set up the way that we need. And so now, of course, if you do the Charlier shuffle as many times as you like, and have the spectator, you can even have the spectator tell you like how many cards to move over, I guess, at each little stage. And then if you, in fact, you can even deal them up. Say, I have a feeling we're going to separate the clubs and the hearts from the spades and the diamonds. Did we do that? We did indeed. Okay, so anyway, that's a very simple example of the Charlier shuffle, which is really just a packet cut. Isn't that amazing? Okay, now the second one we're going to look at is called the Charlier 1 shuffle. So let me go ahead and bring that up.